Welcome back. It's time to play Minecraft, a continuous minimal edited Minecraft Let's Play series. I'm Jackson Dynamite. Not that you care, but if you love Minecraft, if you like Minecraft, like the video, if you love Minecraft, sub the channel. If you made it this far in the introduction, add a comment below. Let everybody else know that you're here. And welcome back to the show. So what we're going to do today is the sugarcane. Oh, the music's on. Sugarcane is where we're at. In this part of our huge world, we don't have a place that auto makes sugarcane. So I figured we'd get that going. And I don't think I'm going to have time today to do it. But there is the new crafting, auto crafter. I think we need to install that onto this sucker at some point. I don't know what that guy's doing there, but that's okay. So are you being people to do? Are you getting stuff done today to better your life and the lives of the people around you? Hold on. I got to reach my coffee over here. I am, because I'm having coffee. Little cup of Joe. Maybe we should just start calling it a little cup of Jackson. People say, hey, you want to go out for a ride, get a cup of Jackson? I don't know if that won't catch on. I'm going to be honest with you. Won't catch on. So here we are in a place that I call Uber Earth. One of the things, let me pause the game there. Just wanted to pause it for a second there. We were going to talk about today is, what I wanted to talk about today for you is I wanted to say sometimes you just need to shut up. Should that be the title card? Shut up. Why you need to shut up. Maybe that will be the title card because people might click on that like, who the hell is this guy think he is telling me to shut up? What I mean by that is there are times in our life that I think we all, including myself and the Dynamite family, we all need to just be quiet. Sometimes things aren't worth talking about. Sometimes things aren't worth opening your mouth and talking. People have said before, people ever said that to you? Like, you open your mouth and you stick your foot into it. When you talk out of turn, maybe two parents are talking to one kid about something, and then two more kids chime in, and it's kind of like, you know what, dude? This is not your conversation. The A and B conversation. See your way out of it. Oh yeah, baby. Still love that. That's what we wanted to talk about today. Is it possible that maybe in your life there's times where you just need to be quiet? You just need to be quiet. So I'll tell you something deep, dark, and personal, minus the dark. And so Mrs. Dynamite was the other day. I thought I was being funny, and we had a misunderstanding. And I basically, like, something was in the oven. The oven was beeping. She was in another room with the door locked, doing something. I banged on the door, trying to be funny, like, your pie's in the oven, it's done. The kids thought it was funny because of the context of being outside. We all thought it was funny. And then she didn't. She thought there was an absolute emergency because somehow I was banging on the door. And I needed to basically own that and shut up and listen. So I basically went to her and said, tell me this from your perspective. And then she explained from her perspective of how freaked out the whole event was. And I basically shut up and I said, you know what? From your perspective, I can see why you were upset. We laugh about it now, seriously. But I can see why she was upset. And so I didn't say much after that. It was just a time where I had to just be quiet and listen, right, to someone else. Listen to the sound of a whole nother it's Honey Nut Cheerios. So we want to make sure that, let's see here. We want the base. We got the hoppers in here. Let's focus. I got some other things to talk about with the topic, but we want to make sure we get this cracking. Do we need a rock base for this sucker? Do we need a rock base? Do we want to cram it into the side of this mountain? Nah, we need, I guess we can, let's see. I have a barrel. Do I have a barrel? What do I got? I got two barrels. So maybe our barrel is over here. And this is where it'll all deposit from. And then we can do something like that, like all of these. Stop me if I'm wrong, guys. Come on. So everything in there will go into there. So if I go up here and I throw this like this, boop. There it is. Boom. Okay, so that all goes there. And then, what? Whoa. You see that fancy footwork? I am so fancy. And I believe you can, I'm pretty sure we've done this on stream before. This stuff, that's your sugarcane. And then up here, it needs water. You need water. So back here, at some point, we will need to put in a channel for the water. So why do I say this? I say this as a family man with a bunch of kids. There's just times where I've noticed you need to know when to be quiet. Know when to not instigate. Know when to not push buttons to your spouse or your children or your coworker or your boss. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just be quiet. It takes a lot of discipline, though. I think in the social media society where everyone tweets, everyone sends out their X anytime they want. They say what's on their mind every single time, even when they're not being asked to say what's on their mind. I think people do it now verbally. They don't know when to just not say anything. Another example is this happens too when you say the wrong thing. Maybe you say like, oh, there was like 15 people there. And then someone in the group goes, 20? Dad, there was 20 people there. It doesn't need to be said. Like we're not taking statistics. No one's writing a report on this. You're correcting someone on something that doesn't need to be corrected. It's a time where you probably should just not say anything. It's not life or death that we have the 100% accurate number. No one's taken a census of how many people were at this. Oh, there's got to be 1,000 people there at the event. It was probably more like 500. Why are we arguing about this? You get the point. I'm just making a point. I'm just saying a comment. Sometimes we just need to be quiet. Sometimes we just need to be quiet and to not say anything. And there's virtue in it. There's biblically there's talks about stuff like this. I'm gonna put let's just put this stuff here for now. We can fix it later. And I got the water right here. So let's get. I'll just put put that water there. So for example, in Proverbs 17:28. Here's an example for it. I know you're like, oh, God, here he goes. It's true, though. It's interesting to hear this stuff because it's just interesting to hear. It says, even fools are thought wise if they keep silent and discerning if they hold their tongues. So you could be an absolute fool, but sometimes when you're just quiet, people will think you're wise. They will think you as someone who's a discerning person if you just bite your tongue. Just hold your tongue. Think about that. There's so many times. Where we don't bite our tongues, right? Oh, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. All right, so we're gonna do this again. We're gonna. I don't know the exact design here. I'm just kind of playing around with these blocks, and I feel like I want to come back in and change them later, but. We've got to sleep. I want to make sure we sleep the night away. So that's interesting, right? It's wisdom. There's wisdom, a lot of wisdom in the restraint of our speech. The restraint of our speech. You can gain wisdom just being quiet. Like you don't always have to have the right answer. You don't always have to have that thing to say, that zinger. You don't have to always be Google. You don't have to have the answer for everything, for everyone, all the time when you're out and about. You don't have to have it. You don't have to chime in all the time on everything. You can not. You can just not. It's okay. It's okay. James has another one, James 1:19. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. So these references emphasize like importance of listening. The dangers of using hasty words. So something to think about. That was Proverbs 17:28 and James 1:19. But I think it's something to think about. Do you think that you talk too much? Do you think you talk too much? What do you think? I think I talk too much. I agree with you. Do you think you talk too much? Do you think you talk too much? I think it's something to think about. I used too many of those other blocks. So let us just throw some dirt blocks in here. I'll just use these blocks for now. And that's something you got to ask yourself. Boop, 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 boop. All right. And we get this. So those are those blocks. So that's our water blocks, right? And then we can just go like this. And if we go like this, this will make it so the water's there, but nothing is going to go down into the pit. So like we're not going to lose our sugar cane. Okay, dude, you gotta go. You gotta go. Sorry, bud. All right, we're not gonna lose our sugar cane. And then it goes 3 high, so right here should be the pistons, right? Burr, 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 burr. So if we go like this, I don't think I've ever really built one like this before, but that's okay. So what have you been doing in your life to be a person to do? Are you getting things done? I've been super busy. I've been focusing on networking. Let's talk about networking. You know, the platforms like LinkedIn are out there, and a lot of times if you're looking for work, you're like, oh, I'm going to go on LinkedIn, you know, and I've been learning that people aren't using it the way they used to. They're not using it to actually network, actually like reach out and find people. And just because you connect with somebody, like you can find people doing the job you want. Think about this. You want to be a cartoonist. You can go on there and find cartoonists. Don't ask them for a job. Don't ask them for references. Ask them if they'll give you 30 minutes. Say, would you mind giving me 30 minutes on a call and tell me how you got to where you were? Tell me a little bit about tips, tricks, maybe hear kind of what I've been, where I am in my life and advice. What would you do if you were in my position? That's networking, right? That's awesome. And I think a lot of people don't do that anymore. They don't think like that anymore. And just like, that's not the way I want, right? You got to have it looking. Is that where it has to look? Yeah, because the redstone is coming off the back. So the redstone's coming off the back. And then we go up like this. So if the redstone's coming off the back, I know a key comes out once in a while. I'm sorry about that. That doesn't work either. Let's do this. There we go. That's what we want. There we go. So you want the face of this. As I'm describing it, it's not going right. You want the face of it to face the thing that you want it to be watching. So this is an observer. So this is basically looking forward into the future. But anyways, so like think about the career. I don't care how old you are. Think about the career, even if you're in a dead-end job right now. You don't like your job, but it's paying your bills. That's fine. That's good. You're going to have jobs like that in the world, right? Let's say you're in this dead-end job. You don't know where to go next, but you want to be a graphic designer. That's what you'd love to do. How do you get there? Go online and look for graphic designers on LinkedIn, people that are doing the role, and just randomly ask them. Say, hey, I know I'm a stranger, but would you mind giving me 30 minutes as a network call just to kind of learn how you got your role, what advice you'd have for someone like me, maybe listen, give me some career advice, give me some tips and tricks along the way. These people are going to get on a call. A lot of people love talking. Well, we talk about not talking, but a lot of people love talking. They would love talking about themselves. They love talking about their careers, their successes. You can learn a lot. Take notes. And what's great is your personality will come out in this phone call. Your personality is going to come out. And they're going to get to know you a little bit. There might even be connections with you after the call's done. You might be connected with these people. And now you're building your network with people that have actually worked with you, right? So as you get a certification done in that field, these are people that are going to be in that field saying, oh, I've met so-and-so. I talked to Jackson Dynamite the other day. He's a great person. You might want to consider him for your role. He's looking to start out in the field. That's how you network, and I think that's been forgotten on these platforms on how to network. If someone reached out to me and said, hey, would you want to get on a 30-minute call just to kind of meet me, listen to where I'm at, and then give me some advice on where you've been? If they're honest about it and sincere and they really want to learn, I might not have all the answers. I certainly don't. But maybe I give them a nugget of advice that brings them to the next place, that brings them to the next network call, that brings them to applying to the college that's going to get them the education they need to do the thing. That's the stuff. That's the stuff that's going to happen and make them successful. So this can go here. Let's put that over there for now. This is sugarcane. All right. What I think the problem with this is we wanted to hit. This would be where the crafter goes. And I don't think you can have... I mean, I guess you can have an output down here. Let's get inside. Let's swap out some of these materials. And I need some redstone. Because that thing's not going to do much good up there. All right, let's get some of this wood out of here. Boop. I used my silk touch on this thing. Oh, man, look at all that. Silky. Silky! All right. We got the wood up there. We got some plankage in here. Let's get rid of that for now. Sticks down here. I'm definitely in need of a auto sorter. I get that. You scream it every time you watch the video. I also get that. Did I make this so I can scoop up water in here? Yeah, I did. Smarty pants. All right, put that in there. I do have this thing down here where I kind of throw gardening stuff. You try to keep organized. Gotta eat my chicken. Gotta eat my chicken. Anyways, that was my talk on networking. That was my other talk earlier on being quiet. Even Christ, like Jesus, through some of this stuff, he has moments where he goes off and prays in silence, right? He has moments where he withdraws into solitary places to pray and reflect. There were times for him to rest, but to have deep communion with God. And maybe sometimes some of us need to do that. Like, just be quiet more often. Put the screens down and be quiet more often. Reflect. And try to listen to God, or listen to see what's next. Sometimes if you just shut up and go for a walk and don't say anything, it's super creative. You can brainstorm problems you have. I've even done that going to sleep at night. Sometimes if you're restless, close your eyes, deep breaths, and say, what is the thing I'm trying to figure out? And start going to sleep thinking about having fun and being creative, and bring it into your sleep. Asking God while you sleep, help me come up with a solution for this problem while I sleep. Not in a stressful way, but something to try. But there's a lot out there on being quiet, right? Being quiet. The kind of the values of silence, fostering, having like a contemplative life. There was St. Thomas Aquinas. He considered temperance in speech to be like a virtue, advocating for having purposeful communication, like making sure that when you talk, there's a reason behind the talk. It's not just like jibber jabber. That's something to consider. I just feel like I wanted to say it. There was something on my heart that just wanted to talk about. You don't always have to talk. As I create a video talking. But, it has to be said. Someone has to say and give you the advice, right? But it's something to be said. Like, I think there's a place to sip your coffee, but there's a place to be quiet. There's a place where there's times where you don't need to always respond. You don't always have to have the answer. Even if you have the answer, you don't always have to have the answer. Especially when it's just trivial stuff. You don't have to be a know-it-all. Maybe that's another way of saying it. You don't have to be a know-it-all. No one likes a know-it-all. Like when you work with people that are just like, they chime in on every topic. No one likes that. It's it can be obnoxious, right? And something to consider when you think about how you act with your friends and your family. Are you always chiming in on everything? Sometimes it's awesome just to sit. I'm gonna use spruce logs. Sometimes it's awesome just to sit in a group of people and not chime in and just like not even people watch people across the street, but people watch people in the same room. Listen to what's being said. Listen to how people interact. And think about, like, did I need to say something? Do I need to say something? Life and death stuff, yeah. Someone's hanging off the side of a cliff. You can't reach them. Of course you want to scream, someone help them! Chime in. But whether it was Ninja Turtles 1 or 2 that the scene happened in, why are you correcting people? Just so that people know that you know the answer? Is that something that people can Google search? Like, you don't need to be a walking Wikipedia. You don't need to be Google all the time. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe it makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. So these go to here, and then they go 3 high. But then the redstone's got to be where? The redstone's got to be here. Is that right? And when the redstone's there, you put another block above that. I think. This is like not even redstone for dummies. This is like redstone for dynamites. That's a new series right there waiting to happen. Redstone for dynamite. This thing needs a house around it or something. This thing's gonna get blown up. Does that happen? So if I go like this, let's go get some. Yeah, how you doing there, bud? I've never made an auto sorter either. I've never made it. Hold on 1 second for me. We got the thing here somewhere. Show it. Show it. Nope. Not showing it. There it is. There we go. All right. Let's get a couple more of these. Let's see if this works. Oh, that's awkward. Little tunnel. Yeah, there we go. That's good. All right. So this is all there. There we go. And then we go up like this. And we fall down. That's a dynamite move too. Well, I hope something I said today inspires you in some way. Throw a comment below. You know, if the talk on. All right, there we go. If the talk on talking a little bit about being quiet, if that helped you reflect a little bit and go, yeah, you know what, I need to be more quiet, or maybe you've been thinking about career and you aren't unhappy where you are. Start networking. Like, do true networking. Like, the absolute worst. 2 things that could happen if you reach out to 20 strangers. What most likely could happen is 3 things. They'll ghost you. You'll reach out to 100 people. None of them will respond back to you. Who cares? They will come back to you and say something stupid and mean, which I think is highly unlikely. I think more often than not, it's going to be ghosting, which people are busy. You can't expect everyone to just like fall to your whims, right? I think you're going to see ghosting. You're going to see people just not responding. Or I think people are going to respond to you. They're going to say, absolutely. And you work with their schedule. You tell them, hey, when next week? Shoot me 3 times next week, and I'll see if I can fit into any one of the times that works for you. For you. Make it about them. It's not about you. It's about them sharing their advice and their tips. Don't make them beckon to your schedule. Do your best to work with their schedule. I think that will go a long way. And if you do this, I'd come back to this video and throw some comments down on what the result was, because it would be very interesting to hear your thoughts on it. Do I want to put these blocks here? I don't know if I do. I'm doing it. I don't know if this is comfortable or not. All right, so those are there. I can do glass. I mean, we could make a glass roof like this for now, because I don't want them sprouting up. Maybe we cover the observers with some spruce. what do you call those things? Trapdoors or something? I don't know. All right, but this is set up now that this is going to spit out stuff into here. Now, how do you make... Let's figure this out real quick. I know we're wrapping on time, and I actually have honestly, I have a network call in 30 minutes. So I'm saying all this because it's true. This is a person I've never met before. It was someone else I had never met before. I got on a phone call with a complete stranger. This stranger happened to know my father. My father was a little bit of a mentor to this person, but I randomly reached out to them, and I asked them for advice. I said exactly what I'm telling you right now I did. Got on a call with this person, ended up talking for a long time, about an hour. And then this person thought of a few people in their network and said, let me introduce you to them, do the same thing with them. So this is the advice. I'm living this advice, and I'm giving it to you. What do you want to do with your life? What's the career you're interested in? Go start talking to people that are doing it. Listen to their advice. Listen. Shut up and listen. Take notes. And then create an action item for one of their notes. Create an action item. So, how do you make a crafting table? I probably already have one of those made, but showing craftable, showing all. I mean, this update has it, right? Is it called? Is it under a redstone contraption? Copper bulb, trap chest. Well, this is surprising. How do you make? What's it called? It's called the Auto Crafter, isn't it? I have a crafting chest right there. What if I just add some redstone to it? If I take the crafting chest and I redstone. Oh my gosh. Why is it not showing up as a showing all? Bookcase. Seeing in that you guys are screaming. Everyone's screaming at me. I can hear it. I'm sorry. I don't know how to make the new block. That's one of those things I've never figured out. I got something here for you, though. Golly. It's not in there. Why is it not in there? What am I missing? I'm missing something. I can make copper doors. Well, I'll figure it out between the next episode, but that's essentially it. It looks ugly as all get up. Maybe we'll put some lights in here somehow. We'll make some lights in there. We can frame up around it. Maybe we can make a little shop out of it. But what I want to do is I want to put an auto sorter here. So it takes the sugarcane, makes it into paper. Or, puts it into paper, because that's what I want this for. I'm not using the sugar part. Although we could also change the direction of these and make them not connect, and have one here giving us sugar, and one here giving us paper, because that's the only thing you use these for. We'll think about that. We will think about that on the next episode of the show. Hey, here it goes. That's it. Thanks again for watching. If my kids are watching, go to bed. If you're watching, my wife's watching. How does it go? My wife's watching. I love you. And if my kids are watching, go to bed. And if you're watching, do the stuff you do on social media. And we'll catch you next time. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.